Chapter 3. Tribal Revolts. Reading Objectives. Revolt in the Chota Nagpur region. The Santhal Rebellion. The Munda Revolt. Tribal revolts in the northeastern region. The tribals of India, like other social groups, participated in the anti-colonial movement. The tribal anti-colonial movements were of two types. First, the movements against their oppressors, that island lords, moneylenders, traders, the Kedars, contractors, government officials and Christian missionaries, and second, the movements which were linked to and merged with the Indian national movement. The first type of movement can be termed as anti-colonial because these movements were directed against those classes which aided in the creation of British colonialism. These classes were considered outsiders by the tribals. According to an estimate, there were more than 70 tribal revolts over a period of 170 years, 1778 to 1948. These revolts were anti-colonial in varying degrees. The main anti-colonial tribal movements and revolts were the tribal revolts in Chota Nagpur region, Tamar Revolt, 1789 to 1832, Kherwar movement of Santhals, 1833, Santhal Revolt of 1855, Birsa Munda's movement, 1895 to 1901, Tribals and National Movement in Orissa, 1921 to 36. The various social, religious and economic problems so troubled the tribals that they resorted to violent revolts and warfare. Enrich yourself. Birsa Munda. The term, Munda, actually designates the name of the leader of the tribal community. Birsa Munda was born in a poor Munda family. At the early age of 21 years, he founded a new religion in 1895. A large number of Munda and other tribals became his followers. They treated him as a reincarnation of the Lord and even believed that Birsa possessed supernatural powers. Many Mundas traveled to his village like devotees thronging to pilgrimage. Birsa Munda grew famous and powerful with each passing day. This scared British rulers. They set about trying to capture him. But they knew he would be supported and protected by his people. So they did not dare to arrest to kill him in daylight. On the 24th of August 1895, the British forces arrested the still sleepy Birsa Munda. But the retaliation from tribal members forced the British to set him free in January 1898. As a free person, Birsa Munda reverted to his previous way of life. He and his tribal supporters fought the British forces and the people supported him and his men in times of famine, food with water and medicines. Revolt in the Chota Nagpur region. Tribal societies resorted to revolt as their expression of anger and frustration. In Chota Nagpur region that includes Orissa, Bihar and Bengal, many tribal revolts broke out. One of the first tribal revolts on records is the revolt by Koladian tribe in the Chota Nagpur region. This revolt of Kols, as it known, began in 1820. They were intolerant to the encroachment of the British power on their traditional territories. The year of 1830 saw the Chota Nagpur region resounding with rebel calls from the Munda tribals. The Kol tribals joined forces with the Mundas. The immediate cause of the revolt by Kols and Mundas was their anger against the Britishers who had killed their tribesmen, and their infused anger were too much for the British forces to handle. But the well-armed and organized British forces finally suppressed the rebellion in March 1832. But it was not till 1836 to 37 that the Kols and Mundas finally accepted defeat from the British. In 1846, Chota Nagpur region around Orissa witnessed revolts by the Khons. The Khons were afraid that the British would lay claim to their tribal territories, force them into labor and levy heavy revenues or taxes. The Khons gathered a strong army and attacked Captain McPherson's camp. About 170 men from the camp surrendered to the Khons. Soon the tribals in the neighborhood areas joined forces with the Khons and rebelled for a period of 3 years. Do you know, the term, Munda, actually designates the name of the leader of the tribal community. The Mundas refer themselves as Hodaka, a term meaning, human beings. The Santhal rebellion. They lived in the southern part of Chota Nagpur plateau and tilled land for livelihood. However, under the permanent settlement of 1793, their lands with the Santhals had been cultivating traditionally passed on to the Zamindars. The Santhals then shifted to the villages in the hills of Rajmahal, but these lands were also claimed by the cultivation of the indigo by European planters. This brought them in confrontation with the British. Moreover, the atrocities on the tribals took the shape of an unrest, which erupted in the form of an armed revolt in 1855–56. The tribals of Bhagalpur, Manbhum, Rajmahal participated in the revolt. To suppress the Santhal rebellion, the British army was put under the command of a Brigadier General Lloyd. On the 15th of August, through a public declaration, the Santhals were warned to surrender within 10 days or face punishment. In November, the government imposed the martial law. Gradually the mutiny slackened. However, the fire lit by them could not be extinguished by the British administration in India. The Munda Revolt. The movement of Birsa Munda is the most popular movement of the Munda tribes of Singhbhum and Ranchi districts of the Chota Nagpur region of Bihar. The tribals enjoy customary rights over their land. The system was marked by the absence of the class of the landlords. The tribals worked on their land and paid tribute to the chief. By 1874, the British replaced the traditional Khundkari system by the Zamindari system. The introduction of Zamindari system created the classes of Zamindars, landlords, and ryots, tenants. The tribals now had to pay rent to the landlords, and failure to do so resulted in their eviction from land. The landlords exploited the tribals in the following ways. They brought the peasants into the tribal lands from the adjoining areas and evicted the tribals from their land, harassed them by brute force, encroaching upon their land, enhancing their rent, changing the collective payment of rent into individual payment, forcing them to do beggar, enforced labor, inflicting physical injury on them, extracting different kinds of allowances from them, that is horse, palki, milch cow, gifts at birth of child, marriage, and charges on the occasion of death in the family of the landlords. The landlords, moneylenders, and the government officers collaborated with each other in exploiting the tribals. Even the social system of the tribals did not remain unaffected by the British policies. The Mundas held the Dicks and the missionaries responsible for their miseries. Therefore, they developed feelings of hatred against the Dicks. They felt that their miseries could be ended only by removing the outsiders and establishing their independent Raj. Tribal revolts in the northeastern region. The Khasis revolted in the Jansha and Garo hills. These tribals were disturbed when the British forces annexed the Khasis' neighboring territories. The British also planned to build a road from Sylhet to Bernier. This would mean encroachment on Khasi territory and a threat to their power. Fact. State. True or false. 1. The Khasi lived in Luce Hills. 2. The Khasi rebels were led by Birsa Munda. 3. Most tribes reside in the plains of North India. 4. Colonel White was killed by the Singh force. Searching dictionary. Rebels. People who revolt against the rulers. Nobility. Nobles or officials who serve royal families. Territory. Area that is in control of a certain country or tribe. Encroacher. One who forces himself especially into someone's land. The Khasis rose in revolt in 1829 and the struggle continued till 1833. The leader of the Khasi revolt was Tirut Singh of Nongklo. He had united all the Khasi chiefs who do not want any foreigners on their lands and in their country. The Khasi and Garo tribals joined forces and raided Nongklo on the 5th of May 1829. They killed many Bengalis and Europeans. The Bengalis were working for the European officers. The tribals set fire to the British residential area, freed many imprisoned people who were forced to work as laborers to construct the road. From Nongklo, the large group of tribesmen went on to Cherrapunji in Meghalaya. Here they searched for the political agent of Assam, namely, Mr. Scott. Meanwhile, Tirut Singh had taken concrete steps to encourage Singhs, Bahots and other tribals to join them as they were also under the British regime. The sheer strength of Khasi tribals, about 10,000, scared the British. As they could not face such a large army, the British forces burned down Khasi villages to retaliate. In 1833, Tirut Singh had to surrender, but he had made the British grant him his life. The British forces were kept busy by the Khasi revolt and soon the Singh force also rebelled in 1830. The attacks and rebellion from two tribal groups together encouraged their group in Assam to stand up for their rights. The Assamese nobles fought for independence from the British. They enthroned Kumar Rupchand as their ruler and invited Khamtis, Nagas and Garos to join and rebel against the British. These tribes got together to launch an attack on the British. They first attacked British forces in Assam, killed many British officers and fought for a considerable time. Soon the tribal groups were defeated by the latest weaponry the British had acquired. But even after their defeat, many Singhs rose in revolt again in 1839 and succeeded in killing Colonel White, the British political agent. The Nagas also rebelled in 1844 and murdered the head of the Dimapur outpost. Insurgency of Nagas lasted for 3 to 4 years when the British tried to stop it. Get to know more. From hunters to food gatherer to settled agriculturists and the group of industrial laborers, we have the view of different economic setup of the Indian tribals. The nomadic primitive tribes like the Andamanis, Onge, Jarwa, Kadar, Khariya, Lodha etc. usually live far away from rural-urban way of life and possess a simple type of social organization. The Orang, Munda, Gond, Bhumij, Ho, Santal are efficient cultivators at present. They practice wet cultivators by transplanting method. The Bhotia of Almora and the Todar of the Nilgiri hills of South India live on pastoral economy. They do not practice agriculture, hunting, fishing etc. They also live far away from the sophisticated modern world and possess a slightly developed but non-complicated social structure. A section of the Gond, Naga, Khariya, Juing, Riang, Khasi, Garo, Squaw practice such type of primitive cultivation by slash and burn method. The Assam tribes call it Joom, the Gondas Podu etc. The Nagar and the Khasi are experts in colored handloom products, and the Lohar are traditional blacksmiths. With the marginal profit they are contributing in our economy. Word to know: in the Chota Nagpur region, tribal societies resorted to revolt as their expression of anger and frustration. The first tribal revolt on record is the revolt by Koladian tribe in Chota Nagpur region. Khons rebelled in fear that the British would take up their lands, force them into labor and levy taxes. Santhal's rebellion of 1855–56 was against the British police, tax officers, moneylenders and landowners. The Santhal rebels were arrested and tortured to death. Birsa Munda, a Munda tribesman, was the leader of Munda revolt. He was looked upon as their god. Birsa Munda was arrested in 1895 but released. He died in prison suffering from cholera. Khasis were the first to revolt in North-East India. They struggled for 4 years. They were led by Khasi leader Tirut Singh of Nongklo.